Mirror cracked from side to side. The doom has come upon me, cried the Lady of Shalott. That's what she looked like.
She was staring at the wall, you think?
Well, she seemed to be.
Was there anything on the wall?
Oh, I don't know. Pictures, I think.
I can't think pictures would be the reason.
No, especially as she'd see them every day.
Were people still coming up the stairs?
Oh, you mean she might have been looking at one of them?
Yes, it's possible.
Well, there was a bit of a to-do when Lola Brewster arrived with Vincent Hogg. And also there was a young woman there taking photographs.
A photographer?
Yes. She took one of me. And then Marina, all of a sudden, seemed to pull herself together. I think her husband nudged her or something, and she was back to her old charming self. Now, what would you like to drink? Jason? Cocktail.
Oh, I don't know whether I should.
Let your hair down, Miss Badcock.
I suppose it is a special day.
That's the spirit.
Have a daiquiri, Miss Badcock. It's Marina's favourite.
Oh, thanks.
He gave a glass to the Badcock woman and one to his wife. Daiquiris, I think.
It's very interesting, Dolly. Very interesting indeed.
But who on earth would want to kill Heather Badcock? Unless she knew something.
No. If she'd known anything, she'd never be able to keep it to herself.
Perhaps she was blackmailing someone.
Blackmail? The thought wouldn't enter her head.
No, I suppose you're right. It reeks of murder, though, doesn't it?
The whole idea seems so very unlikely. Unless, of course, it was the wrong murder.
An odd place to choose, isn't it, sir?
What do you mean, Tiddler?
Well, if I was going to poison someone, spike their drink like, I wouldn't choose a do with loads of people milling around. I mean, someone's bound to notice, aren't they?
That's what we're going to find out.
So what was it then, arsenic or cyanide or something?
According to the inquest, it was an overdose of high-ethyl-dexylbarbiquindoloritate.
Right.
It's an antidepressant, Tiddler, commonly known as Calmo.
So are we actually going to, like, meet Marina Gregg then, sir?
Of course we are. Damn fool question. You a fan of hers, Tiddler?
I am... sort of. Yes, sir.
Bit old for you, isn't she?
So, Inspector, our local murder is considered worthy of the attention of Scotland Yard.
Yes, Miss Marple. The involvement of a Hollywood star raises its profile somewhat.
Should I be honoured that I'm your first port of call?
Commissioner Clithering speaks very highly of you.
Ah, dear Sir Henry. How's he enjoying his retirement?
I suspect he's a little restless.
Yeah, I can well understand that, yes.
How is the ankle?
Oh, better. Thank you, much better.
I must say it is quite a coincidence that the woman who helped you when you fell should be murdered a few days later.
Yes, isn't it?
I don't suppose you had any intuition of this, did you?
Oh, good heavens, no. What an idea. Oh, no, but although she did remind me of someone I once knew.
Who was that?
Alison Wilde. Very kind and full of life, but only ever saw things from her own perspective.
And what's Miss Wilde doing now?
Oh, she's dead, Inspector. Would you care for a Garibaldi?
No, thank you.
Oh, so sorry.
It is a pity you went to the garden party yourself, Miss Marple.
Yes, isn't it? But my friend Dolly Bantry was. It was Mrs. Bantry who sold Gossington Hall to Marina Gregg.
And did Mrs. Bantry see anything?
Yes, indeed, she did.
And what was that?
Are you familiar with the Lady of Shalott?
Never say Nefertiti. Like a curse from the mummy's tomb, Marina Gregg seems dogged by tragedy. At a garden party for the St. John ambulance, hosted by Miss Gregg in her new country home as a rather unconvincing Lady Bountiful, the secretary of the local association, a garrulous spinster by the name of Heather Badcock, suddenly dropped down dead. The dreary proceedings at which Marina Gregg greeted guests with the hauteur of a minor royal were, ironically, kick-started into life by what is now being treated as murder.
That's the one. She was sitting right there, and she just went. One minute she was fine, and the next, I thought she'd had a seizure or a fit or something.
What she did have was 6 times the maximum dose of a substance called Calmo.
Everybody takes Calmo.
I don't.
Oh, you should. It is absolutely marvelous. It bucks you up and it soothes you down, if you take my meaning.
Would there be supplies of it in the house?
Yeah, place is lousy with it. Bottles of it everywhere.
Where exactly did Miss Gregg receive her guests?
Well, she was standing right about here, and oh yes, there was a very persistent photographer from London, Margot something or other, a chic beatniky type. She was taking photographs.
And people were coming up the stairs?
Yes, in driblets. I brought up the VIPs, you might say, and Ella Blunt brought up the rest. She's Mr. Rudd's secretary.
And you are Miss Gregg's secretary?
Exclusive personal assistant, Inspector.
And were you here at the time that Miss Badcock came up?
I'm ashamed to say, Inspector, that I just cannot remember. I have a feeling that I must have gone back downstairs to look after Vincent Hogg and Lola Brewster.
Hi, Miss Brewster. How are you? Mr. Hogg, right this way. Maybe you're going upstairs.
Vincent
Hogg, sir. He's a journalist who used to be married to Miss Gregg.
Oh, a fan. Well, we must have a chat sometime.
This Vincent Hogg chappie?
Yes, we didn't even know he was in the country.
So his turning up was something of a surprise?
You bet.
A pleasant surprise, would you say?
Oh, yes.
So Miss Gregg was happy to see them?
She couldn't have been happier. In fact, she was thrilled.
To see her ex-husband?
Yes.
With a redhead on his arm?
That's Hollywood.
Well, I should like to have a word with Miss Gregg, if I may.
Oh, but you can't. She's totally prostrated.
Nevertheless, I'd still like to speak to her.
Well, I'm afraid that's out of the question, Inspector. You see, the doctor came by this morning, and he gave her a little sedation.
I must say it's a relief to be with someone who's normal.
What do you mean, Doctor?
I've been attending to Miss Marina Gregg.
Oh, is she ill?
Her nerves are shot to pieces, or so she kept telling me, and would probably still be telling me had I not given her a sedative.
Such a shock. Someone suddenly dying like that in the middle of your party.
And if you ask me, her upset has nothing to do with Miss Badcock's death.
Really?
I probably shouldn't be saying this.
Oh, I assure you won't go any further.
So obsessed is she with herself, she even said that it was meant for me, Doctor.
The poison drink? She actually said that, did she?
Yes, she certainly did.
Why on earth would she say that?
Quite preposterous to claim this tragedy as her own, with poor Miss Badcock barely cold in the ground.
Tell me, Doctor, can you remember what happened after Mr. Rudd served Miss Badcock and Miss Gregg their drinks?
Yes, there were still guests coming up the stairs. There was a couple I recall.
Lola Brewster and Vincent Hogg.
A suave-looking chap and a rather flashy-looking redhead.
I do not believe it.
Miss Badcock and I were shifted off a little.
And Miss Badcock drank her daiquiri then?
No, because she wouldn't stop talking about Miss Marina Gregg. Excuse me.
Yes, of course. When did she drink it?
Well, it would have been a little while after. It was getting a bit crowded by then. Someone knocked into her and she spilt it.
She spilt it?
Yes. It went down her dress and Miss Gregg's dress, I believe.
Sorry. Don't worry, it's only a Chanel. So sorry, Miss Gregg. Here, wipe yourself. Hurry. Have this, why don't you? I haven't touched it yet.
She handed over her own drink.
Yes.
Are you quite sure of that, Doctor?
Yes, I am.
And Miss Badcock took it?
No, she didn't want to at first, but, Yes, she took it.
And did what?
I've had far too much already.
Drank it. Rather quickly, if memory serves. Then I got chatting to Councillor Hubbard, and the next thing I knew...